Well, a South Carolina teen finding himself in hot water with his high school when fellow students complained about an American flag and another flag he had bolted, a POW flag he had bolted to the back of his pickup truck. The school telling the teen to remove the flags and, quote, never bring them back. Listen.
He said, we're having some issues. Some people was complaining about the flags on your truck, possibly offend them. I'd understand if it was a Confederate flag or something that might offend somebody. I wouldn't do that. But an American flag, that's our country's flag. I have every right to do it. I don't see a safety issue. I mean, I understand it's a big flag. It's 4x6, but nobody's complained about it being in their way or anything.
It's not wrong. The school ultimately relented and decided to let the teen keep his flags after an outcry of support from Facebook. Joining me now, host of Fox News and commentator on Fox News Radio, author of Godless America, Todd Starnes, who reported on that story. So what was it about that story that caught your attention and captivated you?
Okay, Lori, I'm originally from the South, and we love driving pickup trucks, and we love flying the American flag, and sometimes we do both at the same time. And so when I saw what happened to this young man, I thought, well, that's really not out of the ordinary in the South, especially South Carolina. But what really struck out to me was this young man, 18 years old, Peyton Robinson's his name. He has family members in the military, and he was flying that flag along with the POW MIA flag to show support for his family members. And so I think that this is a great young patriot. And how about all the parents and the students and veterans who came out to support this young man the next day, which is quite frankly why the school decided to change their mind.
Well, apparently a polar opposite type of young man, we learned today. Todd Starnes, the Boston bomber who was convicted and sentenced to death. I'm switching gears quickly because I know we asked you to come on before the verdict was announced, but you told me during the commercial break you had a strong feeling about the decision to sentence Starnes to death. What is that?
Yes, Lori, we've got to start sending a strong message to these jihadists that if they try to attack us, we will fight back. There is a price to pay. And look, I think that they made the right decision by sentencing this man to death, this terrorist to death. The issue now is how is that going to be carried out? There are a lot of folks that would not mind sticking the guy in a field with a pressure cooker and sending him to his maker.
Jumping around topics today, but I also want to get your opinion, Todd, on this Pew Research poll released this week showing fewer Americans are identifying as Christian. In fact, an 8% decline in numbers in that period of time.
Well, this is a very interesting poll, and it's causing some controversy because they're talking about mainline denominations, the Methodist and the liberal Presbyterians and the Episcopalians, not necessarily the evangelicals, and they're actually experiencing some growth, not a lot, but some. So again, I think you have to be very careful with this Pew poll because it seems to be skewed, and a lot of evangelicals are saying, hey, wait a second, they don't take into account, for example, non-denominational churches. So I'm not quite sure I buy into that.
Okay, so you have to step back. So your larger view then on religion in America, what is it?
Well, look, I'm proud to call myself a gun-toting, chicken-eating, Bible-clinging son of a Baptist, Lori, and I think that religion is very important. I think it's going to play a very important role in 2016. We're looking at a lot of significant culture issues, for example, gay marriage and the issue of gender identity. Those things are starting to play out, so we'll see how this, I think it's going to have a very big impact.
Okay, so the secretive, very secretive, right, Council for National Policy, consisting of some of the country's most influential evangelicals, meeting this weekend. Which do you think will secure the evangelical base?
That's still up in the air. You know, I think Mike Huckabee is certainly the front runner in my estimation, but then you have Ted Cruz, who has strong credentials as well. Jeb Bush, very suspect. Marco Rubio, they're not too sure about right now. And then there's
Scott Walker, who's bailing on the conference.
That's right. And Scott Walker, he went after the unions, but the question is, how committed is he on issues like abortion and the social issues? And he did say he was not going to address those social issues. That's a big problem for evangelicals.
Great discussion. We covered a huge range of topics, Todd. And it was so great to meet you in person.
Likewise.
Thank you so much for coming in.